Just a small town girl living in a lonely world. What? She took a midnight train.
The room fell quiet as a strong voice filled the air, and something unexpected happened. A man known for being tough suddenly could not hold back his emotions. Years of pain and hidden struggle rose to the surface in one moment. It was a life being heard. What exactly broke his heart that day? Stay with us to find out. From quiet hallways to a stardom. Richard Goodall led a peaceful and routine life for a significant period. He resided away from glamorous events and noisy receptions. On a daily basis, he fulfilled his duties as a janitor at a middle school in Indiana.
Richard, how old are you?
I'm 55.
55. And what do you do for a living?
I've been a janitor for 23 years.
His routine started early in the morning, and he involved himself in various essential responsibilities. This included maintaining cleanliness in hallways, disposing of trash, and preparing classrooms for the students. He carried out his work diligently. In the eyes of many, he was viewed as a compassionate individual simply performing his duties without expecting anything in return. Richard had always held music dear to his heart, though he kept this passion hidden. In the past, he had aspirations related to singing, but reality led him down a different path. Financial obligations and duties took precedence. As the years went by, music became a personal pursuit for him. He only sang when he was alone, doubting his own abilities and significance. The thought of performing on a stage or reaching a wider audience never crossed his mind. To his acquaintances, he appeared modest and reserved. He never boasted about his vocal talent or sought recognition. Music resided quietly within him, biding its time. Richard prioritized consistency and predictability in his life. His daily schedule was characterized by a lack of variation. Seeking fame was not a goal for him, as he viewed major opportunities as unattainable and reserved for individuals leading vastly different lives. Richard was firm in his belief that his future was predetermined, and he embraced this without objection. This passive acceptance greatly influenced his identity. By diligently putting in the effort, maintaining a compassionate demeanor, and not anticipating any remarkable developments, he lived out his beliefs. Unexpected circumstances caused a change in his plans. At a school function, a video captured Richard singing casually. There were no formalities or expectations, just him singing sincerely. The video was shared and resonated with viewers on a profound level. His raw and authentic voice touched people in a way that polished performances could not. The video went viral in no time. People continued to view, share, and respond with amazement. Several individuals were in disbelief that a voice so strong came from someone not in the music industry. His singing evoked deep emotions in the audience. It wasn't just about the music, but also about the journey of life, perseverance, and optimism. The video garnered more attention than anticipated, drawing in hundreds of thousands of viewers. The video made its way to individuals associated with a popular TV talent program, including Simon Cowell, who is recognized for his discerning critiques and strict criteria. Richard's voice wasn't the only thing that caught their attention. The profound emotion behind each note was also noteworthy. The music seemed to tell a tale of a lifetime filled with solitude and introspection. It was evident that Richard's performance was more than just singing. He was bearing his soul through his music. Shortly after, Richard was surprised to receive an invitation that seemed too good to be true. The opportunity to audition on a national platform was a major departure from his usual day-to-day life, and the thought of traveling to unfamiliar territory was daunting. The bright lights, cameras, and the prospect of performing in front of a large crowd were a stark contrast to the calm and familiar surroundings he was used to. His anxiety was palpable as he nervously waited, uncertain about what would transpire in the moments ahead. He then started singing. Once his voice resonated throughout the room, a shift occurred. The atmosphere became tranquil as the judges tuned in attentively. Initially met with hesitation, his performance gradually evolved into something heartfelt and impactful. The passion in his voice connected with the audience on a profound level, evoking emotions that were spontaneous and genuine. As the judges reacted, the applause that followed affirmed the collective sentiment. Richard had ventured into uncharted territory, leaving a lasting impression on all. The audition marked a significant shift for Richard. He quickly gained recognition in various outlets. Discussions arose about the discrepancy between his reserved profession and his powerful vocal abilities. Videos of his audition went viral and were continually circulated. Passers-by would spot him in public and warmly acknowledge him, as if they were already acquainted. While the spotlight on him was unrelenting, it was rooted in admiration. But what was his life like before the game? Let's dive in. A quiet life that found its moment. Richard Goodall spent the majority of his life out of the spotlight. He led a quiet, unassuming existence and remained dedicated to his work without seeking recognition. When his circumstances shifted and he garnered public attention, others found his journey to be motivational. They witnessed his happiness, the admiration of others, and his upward trajectory. However, they initially failed to recognize the heavy emotional burden he bore. Despite appearing joyful and speaking kindly, Richard harbored long-lasting anguish. The passing of his first wife due to cancer haunted him for a significant period of time. He hardly ever broached the subject, failing to convey the profound impact it had on him or how it altered his perspective on life. Despite gaining mass recognition for his singing, the sorrow lingered within him. Observers near to him picked up on the fact that, despite his smiles and expressions of gratitude towards his fans, a subtle weight seemed to burden his eyes. His elation appeared tinged with melancholy. As the contest progressed, observers started to pick up on the fact that he was facing difficulties. His pauses, calm demeanor, and the emotion in his voice sparked curiosity among the audience about his inner struggles. Online discussions flourished as people attempted to unravel the mystery surrounding him. Eventually, Simon Cowell addressed the issue directly. He clarified that what people were witnessing was not a sign of weakness or incompetence. Instead, it was the manifestation of an unhealed pain. This revelation altered the perception of Richard's journey for many individuals. His achievements were no longer viewed as a straightforward success story, but rather a path marked by sorrow, resilience, and quiet fortitude. Simon, who had experienced his own share of loss, empathized with that kind of anguish on a profound level. Throughout the majority of his existence, Richard flew under the radar, quietly carrying out his duties with integrity and striving for excellence, even in the absence of spectators. Singing served as a private outlet for him, providing a means of emotional release when verbal expression fell short. Seeking validation through his musical talents was never his intention. He remained content with modest aspirations, leaving grand dreams to others while maintaining a steady course in his own pursuits. Some time ago, Richard attempted to achieve fame by auditioning for The Voice. The rejection he faced was painful, but he did not allow it to embitter him. He went back to his everyday routine, carried on with his work, and sang softly to himself. He came to accept that some aspirations may remain unfulfilled. He decided to audition for America's Got Talent not with hopes of winning, but simply to have another opportunity to showcase his talents. Despite this decision, he entered with minimal expectations. The magnitude of performing on a grand stage with cameras and judges was daunting for him. He was more accustomed to being unnoticed rather than being in the spotlight. As the contest progressed, a unique phenomenon occurred. He managed to create a bond with the audience. Instead of relying on showy gestures or over-the-top theatrics, he simply stood his ground and sang. His voice resonated with wisdom, authenticity, and a wealth of life experiences. Each note conveyed a sense of grief, resilience, and optimism that touched the hearts of those listening. His performances exuded sincerity that struck a chord with the audience. One of the most powerful experiences of his trip occurred when he had the opportunity to sing with the band Journey. Their songs had been a soundtrack for both difficult and optimistic moments in his life. Being on stage with them was surreal and went beyond just a performance. It seemed like a culmination of years spent listening and singing in private, finally resulting in something significant. Richard was declared the victor of Season 19 of America's Got Talent. In September 2024,
Off my feet. I mean, we all had the best time with you up there on that stage. This is what I'm gonna do for you because I love you.
he was awarded a prize of $1 million and gained fame across the nation. The victory resonated with many audience members on an emotional level, illustrating that success may not always be immediate and can sometimes require years of perseverance, setbacks, and hard work. Right before the conclusive outcome, Richard encountered a significant event that altered his life. He tied the knot with his partner of many years, Angie Venovan, in the city of Pasadena. Despite the hectic timing, their marriage provided him with a sense of solace and security. Angie stood by his side during moments of uncertainty and anxiety, reassuring him of his value when the burden of expectations weighed heavily on him. Following his victory, Richard underwent hernia surgery. The healing process required him to take a break following a period of anxiety and excitement. Staying true when the world suddenly watched. Many were convinced that Richard Goodall's life would undergo a dramatic transformation following his victory in a national competition. They envisioned him swiftly departing from Indiana, his bags packed, ready to embrace a life of celebrity status. Some speculated that he would never revert to his previous routine, while others anticipated him abandoning his job to pursue a glitzy existence in the spotlight. To the surprise of almost everyone, Richard made a different decision. Instead of venturing into an unknown future, Richard chose to return to his roots in Indiana. He decided to go back to the familiar middle school, where he had spent over 20 years working. He navigated the familiar corridors that held a special place in his heart. He exchanged greetings with the students and colleagues who had known him since before he gained recognition on a broader scale. While some found his decision unconventional, Richard felt a deep sense of belonging in the school that was not merely a job, but an integral part of who he was. Richard did not view his decision to stay as a refusal to embrace success. He saw it as a way to stay in touch with his true self. Fame had come upon him swiftly and forcefully. The constant presence of cameras, judgments, and pressures was overwhelming. Amidst all that chaos, the normalcy of school life provided him with a sense of tranquility. The familiar faces around him offered a sense of solace. Engaging in simple everyday tasks gave him a sense of stability. He mentioned that having a routine gave him a sense of calm. It served as a reminder that his value was not determined by the applause of others. Despite new opportunities gradually emerging, Richard remained unhurried. His past was not wiped out by fame. Instead, it merely became a component of his life rather than defining it entirely. He persisted in his work to stay connected with reality and find solace in a noisy world. During this period, Angie Venovan, his spouse, remained a pillar of strength by his side. Her assistance extended beyond mere words of comfort, as she motivated him to confront long-ignored aspects of his past. Together, they embarked on a journey to find Richard's biological father, a stranger to him until then. Taking this step was not without its challenges, bringing up buried uncertainties and anxieties. However, Richard embraced the decision with a sense of readiness and determination. In the end, Richard and his father came together again. His father, a former canine police officer and military veteran, had a heartfelt reunion with his son. The emotional encounter filled a void in Richard's heart that had lingered for years. It allowed him to finally understand a part of himself that had been a mystery. Additionally, the reunion revealed a surprising revelation to Richard. He had siblings he was unaware of. Connecting with them brought a sense of belonging that he never anticipated finding in his lifetime. These instances went unnoticed by the media and did not attract much attention. However, they had a profound impact on him, altering his perspective on himself and his experiences. He no longer felt incomplete, but rather as if a missing piece had finally found its place. Throughout the competition, Richard was pleasantly surprised by the generosity of strangers who believed in him and offered their assistance. By way of crowdfunding, he received financial support that alleviated the strain of travel and living expenses related to the competition. It was not merely about the money, but the revelation that there were individuals who genuinely cared for him beyond his musical talent. This realization lingered in his mind even after the competition had concluded. Following his victory, numerous requests for him to perform came flooding in. Richard showcased his talent at various venues such as professional basketball games, public gatherings, and community events. Each time he took the stage, he gained more assurance in his ability to entertain large audiences. However, he did not succumb to the pressure of fame and fortune. Instead, he prioritized a harmonious and well-rounded lifestyle. He ensured to allocate time for relaxation, remained connected with his loved ones, and remained dedicated to his craft. He paid attention to his physical well-being and emotional needs. The careful decisions and unwavering determination of the man from his hometown did not go unnoticed. The community leaders awarded him with a key to the city in recognition of his achievements. It was a source of great pride not only for his success, but also for the way he portrayed the values of the town. A celebration was held at the local middle school where he was employed, with students and staff coming together to honor him. He wasn't just a distant figure to them, but someone familiar, kind, and dedicated to his work. But what was his life like after hitting fame? Let's explore. When the applause faded and real life began. Richard Goodall's life took a rapid turn following his impressive performance on America's Got Talent. The golden buzzer brought forth unexpected opportunities for him. He started receiving offers and gaining recognition from people who were unfamiliar with him before. An important change for him was venturing deeper into the music industry. Richard grabbed the chance to collaborate with record labels and courageously inked his first record contract. His debut album, Believe Again, was a result of that choice. Incorporated in the album were tunes that mirrored his experiences, in addition to thoughtfully selected covers. Through this collection of songs, he demonstrated that he was more than just a brief television sensation. He proved to be a genuine musician with a narrative. The music bore the burden of countless hours spent envisioning silently, toiling diligently, and persevering through setbacks. Imbibing the album was akin to traversing his life, one stride at a time. His invitation to perform at the Grand Ole Opry was a truly memorable experience following the show. Richard had never even considered the possibility of standing on that iconic stage. Upon stepping out, the audience greeted him with genuine warmth and admiration. The standing ovation that followed his performance reinforced the fact that his voice and charisma transcended beyond the confines of television. It became clear to many that his talent was deserving of any stage. Despite his increasing popularity, Richard never strayed far from his roots. He maintained a strong bond with Terre Haute, the town that influenced him greatly. Regular visits to the school where he had taught for a long time demonstrated his loyalty to those who had stood by him before he became well known. It was clear that fame had not altered his principles. He remained humble and grateful, keeping his heart in the same place as before. Returning the favor became a significant aspect of his fresh start. Richard established the Believe In Fund at Chauncey Rose Middle School. The purpose of this fund was to assist students with aspirations of pursuing music but facing financial constraints. Richard aimed to provide opportunities for youth, just as opportunities had been presented to him in the past. This was his method of instilling hope in the very same corridors where he once toiled in silence. Terre Haute paid tribute to Richard in a special manner as well. He was given a key to the city, representing respect and gratitude. The community came together to commemorate his achievements and his character. They remembered him as the gentle soul who diligently performed his duties every day. Richard's story inspired many to believe that dreams can be chased at any age. His transformation from a janitor to a renowned performer resonated with people across the country. His determination and perseverance gave others a sense of optimism. Through his experiences, he showed that remarkable opportunities can arise in even the most mundane of lives. Following his victory, Richard embarked on a nationwide tour of schools. At each stop, he recounted his personal journey and urged the young audience to have faith in their abilities. His advice was straightforward and concise. Persevere, remain dedicated to your passions, and push through challenges. Richard's authentic and relatable approach resonated with students, who recognized the genuine wisdom he shared. Richard kept advancing his music career while simultaneously recording fresh songs and reaching out to broader audiences. His album served as a mirror of his life experiences, transcending mere entertainment to become a vibrant portrayal of his personal journey in the form of music. Richard, despite being in the spotlight, encountered a common obstacle that arises for many up-and-coming celebrities. He had to find a way to juggle his previous life with the new possibilities that were opening up to him. Despite receiving more and more offers, he made the decision to continue his work at Chauncey Rose Middle School, as it provided him with a sense of stability during a period of rapid transformation. The school was understanding and accommodating, allowing him the flexibility to pursue his passion for performing and making public appearances. However, Richard was aware that at some point in the future, he might have to make a definitive choice between his two paths. In the meantime, he opted for practicing patience. Both students and adults found motivation in his narrative. He emphasized that success is not limited to any particular individual. By staying committed and having faith, significant transformation can be achieved at any point in time. His journey served as a real-life example of resilience. Richard expanded his performance venues beyond academic institutions and theaters, venturing onto bigger platforms. His vocal rendition of the national anthem at an Indiana Pacers game
by the dawn's early light
allowed him to reach a wider audience. The opportunity to be the opening act for Howie Mandel on a live show left him feeling as if he were living in a dream. These instances served as a testament to the distance he had come on his artistic journey. But what's the true sacrifice of being an AGT winner? Let's find out. When the confetti falls. Emerging victorious on America's Got Talent feels like a fantasy becoming reality. The dazzling lights, thunderous applause, and a hefty prize check suggest a life of luxury and liberation awaits. Audiences are led to believe that the champion will be awarded $1 million prize. On screen, it appears as a straightforward and transformative event. Numerous individuals assume the winner will become instantaneously wealthy. However, beneath the surface of jubilation, the reality is considerably more intricate and subdued. The cash award is not handed out in a lump sum but is distributed across 4 decades. As a result, the champion gets $25,000 per year prior to any deductions. Upon hearing the phrase $1 million, many envision a substantial sum that can transform their circumstances instantly. However, the actual experience is quite dissimilar as the funds trickle in gradually on an annual basis. As time goes by, taxes chip away at the amount the recipient ultimately retains. This arrangement alters the way in which the award impacts an individual's life. Winners have the option of receiving a lump sum payment instead of receiving annual payments over 40 years. Despite being smaller, this lump sum usually amounts to around $300,000 to $400,000 after tax deductions. This can come as a surprise to those who were anticipating $1 million. The amount displayed on TV may not be what they actually receive, making the once grand prize feel restricted. The television program depicts the award as a mystical and perfect reward. Viewers witness happiness, paper pieces flying around, and festivities. They envision the champion as being financially secure forever. Nonetheless, the discrepancy between the expected outcome and the actual result can be perplexing. This disparity may leave recipients feeling ill-equipped. The initial thrill disappears, and the harsh truth becomes apparent. Money is just a fraction of the overall expenses. The victors are obligated to agree to contracts that give a significant amount of authority over their career to the producers of the show. These contracts typically involve management stipulations. This implies that the champion may not have full control over decisions regarding their performances, public appearances, and music recordings. This might seem constraining for artists who prioritize autonomy. Their ability to express themselves creatively becomes restricted, and their personal decisions can be influenced by external opinions. Moreover, champions are frequently expected to give away a portion of their upcoming income. Their earnings from appearances, sponsorships, and other projects could be distributed among others. Even after achieving victory, a slice of their prosperity is owned by a different person. When factoring in taxes and financial arrangements, the monetary outlook appears even bleaker. The award diminishes in value. Achieving victory can also result in instant notoriety. From being an ordinary individual one moment, the winner is suddenly under the scrutiny of millions. Supporters eagerly await news updates while media organizations track their every action. The spotlight can be intense, causing personal boundaries to blur. Everyday occurrences are transformed into public narratives. The expectation to continually exude gratitude, joy, and triumph can become a heavy burden on a person's soul. Numerous champions find it challenging to adapt to the abrupt transition. The pressure of being constantly in the spotlight can have an impact on one's mental health. Anticipations escalate quickly, leading to a heightened sense of failure. The elation of victory may soon be overshadowed by the fear of public humiliation. Not everyone is equipped to handle such intense levels of scrutiny. Even with obstacles, achieving victory can provide a significant benefit. The program attracts a large audience, and the champion's name becomes famous. This fame can create new possibilities and opportunities. It can result in invitations to perform, chances to record music, and appearances in public. To certain winners, this visibility is more important than the actual cash prize. Winning an award does not necessarily lead to sustained success. While some winners manage to cultivate lasting careers and remain in the spotlight, others gradually recede from public view and go back to their former lifestyles. The key factor in determining the outcome is often the level of forethought and groundwork put in beforehand. Success should not be viewed as the end goal, but rather as the initial step towards greater achievements. Winners must have a plan in place to maximize their success. They should continuously engage with their fans through various means, such as performances, creating new content, or maintaining a strong online presence. Without consistent effort and a clear direction, their popularity can diminish rapidly. It is important to understand that fame is delicate and needs to be nurtured. Assistance is crucial in achieving success. Loved ones, companions, and reliable mentors assist victors in staying rooted. They offer sincere guidance and psychological solace. In times of overwhelming noise and expectations, a solid support network grants equilibrium. Lack of this network can make the pressure seem solitary. Some championship recipients opt to utilize their spotlight for positive impact. They advocate for significant issues or back philanthropic endeavors. In these instances, the significance of being victorious transcends mere financial gain or recognition. It transforms into an opportunity to assist others and establish significance. This sense of purpose has the potential to provide enduring satisfaction even as public diminishes.